Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com. I have just finished coming through East River Mountain Tunnel. I am now in West Virginia. You're going to get to see the big sign coming up here. It says welcome to West Virginia. See some pretty leaves. This was filmed on the 15th, I believe, or the 17th. I can't even remember. I can't even remember what day I was here. I think the 17th of October. So you can see some pretty colors and some leaves. Uh, that's what I'm up here doing. I'm recording my West Virginia videos for this next month, and I'm getting as many as I can with the pretty fall foliage. So first off, this is Interstate 77, and I did not get off at the Bluefield exit. I'm staying on till exit 9, which is Princeton. And it's kind of funny. I had a request for this video. So shout out to Stephanie in Florida. She wanted to see Interstate 77 to Princeton. Uh, in fact, she had sent me an email that said that she typically got off at the Bluefield exit and can't even remember a time that she went to Princeton on Interstate 77. If she wanted to go to Princeton when she was in Bluefield, she would just be on 460. So it got me thinking. It was like, how many times have I actually driven Interstate 77 from Bluefield to Princeton? And I'm about like Stephanie. Not very many times. Of course, she says she can't remember doing it all. I think I've done it like 12 times total. Not much. I remember specific times in general being on this road or this section of Interstate 77, but like Stephanie, typically I would get off at Bluefield because that's where I was going, was Bluefield. And if I had to go to Princeton, I was already in Bluefield, I would just hop on 460. So there's just a few times that I have been on 77. Did this once last year, this section of the drive, and I'm not even sure I recorded it. Maybe I did, and maybe I've put it out there for all the world to see. But hey, at least this time, get to see some fall foliage because I know it was the middle of summer when I was on this road, this section right here. So one thing that's really interesting about this section of the road, Interstate 77, is there's two exits, but, well, some of them you can't get there from here. It's kind of funny. So the first exit we're going to come to is the Ingleside exit. And going north, like we are now, you cannot take the exit to go to Ingleside. Now, people in Ingleside, there's an exit ramp for them to get on 77, but not Interstate 77 going north. There's an exit ramp for them to get on the interstate going north. There's not one for people on the interstate to get off if they're heading north. Now, on the south side, it's the opposite. There is an exit off the south side of 77, but you can't get back on. So it's kind of opposites right there. Well, then just a little bit further up the road is 12 Mile Road. And that exit is the complete opposite. So I would be able to get off of Interstate 77 on going northbound, but I couldn't get back on going northbound. So it's pretty interesting. So I guess a lot of people that would live, Ingleside area or even the 12 Mile Road area, if they're doing some of this kind of stuff, uh, they utilize going up the interstate and coming back down, make U-turns kind of on the interstate with the exit ramps to get which exit that they need. If they were heading to Oakville and needed to take the Ingleside exit and they're coming up, they would maybe go up to 12 Mile Road, take the exit, turn around to come back down to get off at the Ingleside exit. Or they would just go on to Princeton and jump on 460 and drive on to Oakville. I guess it just depends which is closest for them. Not sure which would be closest if you were all the way down at Oakville, let's say Oakville School. It probably would be just as close to go on up the interstate to Princeton and get on 460 instead of going up to 12 Mile Road, taking the exit to come back down to get on the south side of 77 to be able to take the Ingleside exit. Anyway, I hope that made sense to you, and I hope you've seen it just then as we passed the Ingleside exit. There was no exit for us northbound travelers to take that exit, but there was an entrance for people from Ingleside to get back on the interstate onto Interstate 77. And the opposite happens up here. People can get off on 12 Mile Road traveling north on Interstate 77. So basically, this section of the interstate, I think I mentioned that already, is 9 miles long from Bluefield exit to Princeton exit. That's why it's exit 9 at Princeton. If you're not from the area, there is a lot more places to stop basically in Princeton. If you're just driving Interstate 77 to get you from point A to point B, a lot of people would just rather stop in Princeton. There's a Welcome Center in Princeton. There's a Walmart, like basically at the parking lot there at the Welcome Center. Several hotels, lots of fast food places, other sit-down restaurants or whatever. Where Bluefield doesn't have anything right there at the exit, you'd have to drive a little bit of 460 to get you to Bluefield or Bluefield, Virginia or whatever. But Princeton, oh, I love this. I love this railroad passing right here. You see this railroad track above us? I love it. It's so cool looking. Anyway, right there was the 12 Mile Road exit, and you seen could get off there, but you couldn't get back on. And there's just a third lane that popped up for the truckers while we're climbing this hill. Anyway, you could see now that we're seeing signs for Princeton. One thing I wanted to talk about really quick was, I maybe mentioned it in the past. I'm just kind of jabbering on. I didn't have much to talk about for this video. But Interstate 77. So have you all ever noticed or knew about the interstate numbers? Odd numbers go north and south, and even numbers go east and west. So 77 is an interstate that goes north to south. So think about that the next time you all are driving. I know that there's plenty of people that don't even realize that is the case, but for the most part, it goes north to south for odds and east to west for evens, or vice versa, west to east, whatever. Check it out. The only place it kind of throws me off, and I've thought about it several times, is Interstate 81. Okay, sure, it does start north and it goes through the state of Virginia going southwest, but there's a point where it just looks like it's just really heading specifically west. But it's still an odd number, so that one always, when I'm looking at a map, made me think, huh, well, that's not really going north to south. But when it, compared to where it starts, yeah, it is going north to south. Well, we are at the Princeton exit, basically. You can see bits and pieces of Princeton up here, a little bit of signage. Over on the right, I don't know if you can even see it, that's Greasy Ridge Road over on the right over there and behind those trees. That's a fun road to drive. I'm going to add that video, link it to this one, because that's a fun drive, especially if you like curvy, downhill, kind of scary roads. It doesn't bother me too much, but it would bother a lot of people. So anyway, we're taking the exit here at Princeton. Thank you, Stephanie, for reaching out and wanting to see Interstate 77 from Bluefield to Princeton. I'm glad you gave me a yell so I could do that for you. And this is Angie from Tourangie.com. Come to my website, read my blogs, make appointments so I can help you plan your next travel adventure. Talk to you all later.